A fire extinguisher looks like a simple red metal cylinder. Pull the pin, squeeze the handle, and something shoots out to stop the fire. But what is actually hiding inside that cylinder? Surprisingly, not every fire extinguisher contains the same thing. Some are filled with powder, some contain water or foam, and others contain carbon dioxide gas. What comes out depends on the type of fire the extinguisher is designed to fight. One of the most common types is the dry chemical fire extinguisher. Inside it, you'll usually find a very fine chemical powder. Depending on the extinguisher, this can include substances such as monoammonium phosphate or sodium bicarbonate-based chemicals. But the powder alone cannot blast itself out of the cylinder. There is another important ingredient inside: pressurized gas. In many stored pressure extinguishers, the cylinder is pressurized with an inert gas, commonly nitrogen. That pressure is basically stored energy waiting to be released. Think of it like a compressed spring made of gas. As long as the handle is untouched, a valve at the top keeps everything sealed inside. The pressure remains trapped, which is why the extinguisher can sit ready for years, provided it remains properly maintained. Now pull the safety pin. Interestingly, pulling the pin does not normally release the extinguishing agent. The pin simply prevents the operating handle from being accidentally squeezed. When you squeeze the handle, the real action begins. The handle opens the valve at the top of the cylinder. The pressurized gas inside immediately tries to escape. But because the extinguisher is designed with a discharge path, that pressure pushes the extinguishing agent into a tube running down inside the cylinder. This is called a siphon tube or dip tube. It reaches close to the bottom of the extinguisher. The pressure above the extinguishing agent forces the material up this tube, through the valve, into the hose, and finally out through the nozzle. That is why squeezing a small handle can produce such a powerful jet. You are not creating that pressure with your hand. Your hand is simply opening the door for pressure that was already stored inside. But how does the powder actually stop fire? For fire to continue burning, it generally needs three basic things: heat, fuel, and oxygen. This is commonly represented as the fire triangle. Combustion also involves continuing chemical chain reactions. A dry chemical extinguisher attacks the fire mainly by disrupting those reactions. Depending on the chemical used, it can also help separate the burning material from the surrounding air. That can shut down combustion extremely quickly. But dry chemical powder is only one possibility. A carbon dioxide extinguisher works very differently. Instead of a cylinder full of powder, it contains carbon dioxide stored under high pressure, with much of it existing as liquid CO2 inside the cylinder. Open the valve and the pressure suddenly drops. The liquid CO2 rapidly expands and cools as it leaves the extinguisher. Some of it can even form tiny particles of dry ice during discharge, which helps explain the extremely cold blast. CO2 extinguishers work mainly by reducing the oxygen concentration around the flame enough to suppress combustion. And because carbon dioxide disappears as a gas rather than leaving powder everywhere, CO2 extinguishers are useful around certain electrical equipment. However, that does not mean CO2 is suitable for every fire. There are also water extinguishers. These contain mostly water and are designed primarily for ordinary combustible materials such as paper, wood, and some fabrics. Here, the main weapon is cooling. Water absorbs a large amount of heat from the burning material. If enough heat is removed, the fuel can fall below the temperature needed to keep burning. Then there are foam extinguishers. They discharge a foamy mixture that can spread across the surface of certain burning liquids. The foam helps separate the fuel from oxygen and can also provide cooling. So although fire extinguishers may look similar from the outside, their interiors can be completely different, and choosing the wrong extinguisher can be dangerous. For example, water should not be thrown onto burning cooking oil. Water can rapidly turn into steam beneath the hot oil and violently spread burning oil outward. Water also should not be used on energized electrical equipment unless the extinguisher is specifically designed and rated for that situation. This is why extinguishers carry fire classifications and operating instructions. There is one more small part on many extinguishers that people often overlook: the pressure gauge. On many stored pressure extinguishers, the gauge gives a quick indication of whether the internal pressure is within the proper operating range. If pressure is lost, the extinguisher may not discharge correctly, even if plenty of extinguishing material remains inside. So that simple red cylinder is actually a carefully engineered pressure system. Inside, you may have powder, water, foam, or carbon dioxide. In many designs, stored pressure provides the force needed to discharge the extinguishing agent. Pulling the pin prepares the mechanism. Squeezing the handle opens the valve. Stored pressure drives the extinguishing material outward, and within seconds, chemistry and physics work together to attack the conditions that keep a fire burning. A fire extinguisher may spend almost its entire life hanging silently on a wall, but inside that cylinder, everything is kept ready for the few seconds when it might matter most.